This is the world of company secretaries. On this channel, you can watch interviews with company secretaries across the world. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon. Sir, now that you told us about your student journey, can you tell us a little bit about the CS training time? So, where did you do the training and how was that experience?
Again, I'm very fortunate to say that the more you get, the tougher situations for you, the more stronger you would become and the more confident you become.
Yes.
The only zeal required is that I want to survive and I want to sustain. It's not a race here, because today who's successful might be failure tomorrow. Today whoever is failure today might be successful tomorrow, and it's the journey keeps going around. It's not that it's a one-time cycle. So today you would be successful, tomorrow you're failure, day after tomorrow you're successful, again a failure. This keeps coming up and down. It doesn't matter, but you will be away from it once you see that okay, you can get over with both. That is more important. So when I say this with this background is from the angle of as a trainee, I worked under Titan Industries Limited under the leadership of Madam Usha Iyengar. She's in Bombay currently. She was a phenomenal guru for me to teach a lot of things about financial management and also about the legal aspects, vetting of documents and all that. She was associated with Tata for a couple of time, and she had a lot of experience. And Tata is, I can just say that Tata's group companies have a lot of code of conduct to follow. So they are the very good companies to work for. That much I can say because I worked there. In my 15 months journey, I worked under training under Madam Usha Iyengar. And initially, I was given the basic work, which is quite okay, because initially when you join as a trainee, they will not give you everything crucial. So they will just gauge your experience and knowledge, understanding how much you know, how much you can apply your mind and all that. So based on that, they will start slowly giving up more and more responsibility. So do not expect overnight getting you a huge amount of responsibility because you just finish your CS center or midway through and you are eligible to become trainee. So you will get a very crucial job. Sometimes you will get only the data entry job or only the raw jobs. That is okay. After that, sometime I wrote my CS final. Back then, there was an advantage of writing CS final. And I took a risk of writing all the 9 papers together, that is all the 3 groups at one shot. The reason I took was there were two reasons for it. One is that I will not be allowed to take more than 45 days leave in a year, which is again I think it's a standard statement even now also. The other thing is I cannot go on doing the same thing. I used to get 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening. I used to catch two buses to go to that station and come back. So during that time, I used to go, it was little expensive for me back then, but I used to afford it to see that, catch an Volvo bus, because back then in Bangalore, the Volvo buses are like air conditioned, most comfortable. Hardly any crowd used to be there. So I used to get a seat, sit there, and not much of bumpy ride. So sit there and we should be able to read books. You'll not believe I used to read morning 1 chapter, evening 1 chapter. By the time go home at night and make a notes of morning chapter and evening chapter. So both I used to do. So that was the time management which I did. It was a little bit tough time because we had a lot of things in the office to do at the same time, even in come back home and then do all this circus. And once I attempted all the 3 groups, and I'm fortunate to say that I've cleared all the 3 groups in one attempt. And once I cleared that, the boss was quite happy, and she gave me a lot of responsibilities because there was another, I think, 6 to 8 months left for the training. But then she started giving me a lot of crucial jobs to work for, drafting of agreements, crucial agreements, vetting them, and looking at Companies Act, drafting of notices, drafting of contents in annual report. Not all, but some parts of the contents of annual report. and looking at the agendas and how you are sequentially organizing them. All these things were like given to me as responsibility, and I could deliver it also. Sometimes I used to make mistakes. She used to correct me. Whenever I had a doubt on legality, said why it should be, for example, there's a covenant of jurisdiction. There's always a fight for a jurisdiction in the agreement when it comes to disputes. Is that whether if I'm a client or a if I'm at the receiving end, I will have to accept whatever the jurisdiction of the other guy is saying. So no matter, even if it is Singapore, I'll have to accept it. But if I'm at the giving end, I will define what is my jurisdiction. So these are the ones which she taught me about how to define them, how to negotiate them in wordings. This is very basic, at that point of time, nobody will go so depth to teach you all this. That helped me out in improving my drafting skills. So this was about my training journey.
Yes, sir. So in the training, I think what you spoke, I'm sure many who are watching this should take a leaf out of it. That is, in the training period, it was not easy, but you used to study on the bus in the morning and in the evening, then again go back late and make notes. As you said, it was somewhat like a circus, but it was really worth it because you could clear all the three modules in your first attempt. And like you told, you had a great boss who taught you wonderful things. So as you were completing training,
Yeah, I
how,
just
how
want
how did you feel?
point.
Yes,
Sorry, I
please.
just want to mention one point is
Yes.
that there is something called as comfort zone.
Yeah.
Back then, I used to get a stipend of some 6,000 plus, and the comfort zone is that you want to save money, you have to take a local bus, but you want to afford it for the future investment, probably you have to spend it then. So there is no both things coming up colliding together in one point of time. It's not that all the time, but sometimes, for the mid-income group people, you will have to have this sort of, in Hindi, they call it as jugaad. The reason why I'm saying this is because, I have to spend it to see that I get the comfort of reading and time and effort, which I cannot afford to do in any other time. So if I can buy it if I can buy it by paying money, where is the question of comfort?
Exactly.
Right? So we need to keep that in mind, that the comfort is not from the point of view of what money can buy or what money can't buy. It's purely a trade-off between what is required for you at that point of time to balance it.
Yeah. So like you were also mentioning that it was more about the time management, and like you used the word jugaad, which really helped you to sail through that period.